that warm reception. Good evening, Lorain County and all the guests. Thank you all for being here. You heard that introduced already. I'm Melody Stewart. Just 4 months ago, I left serving a full term on your Ohio Supreme Court. And I'm glad to be with you here this evening. There's so much to talk about these days. But we only have about an hour tonight. So while so many of us are seeing our family and friends and even ourselves face increasing bills and not have any certainty about health care, etc., we logically look to our elected officials to give us an explanation about what's going on and to answer our questions. And good public servants do that. And so while some of them have decided not to come around and answer questions, I'm told that none of the Republican members of Congress in our state are holding any town hall meetings. The Congress... I didn't say that. The congressman for this district, Bob Latta, did not respond to our invitation tonight to come. But I do want to take a moment, because we should give credit where credit is due, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge our members of Congress from Ohio who are showing up for their constituencies. So Congressman Greg Landsman in District 1, Joyce Beatty in Congressional District 3, Marcy Kaptur in 9, Chantel Brown in 11, and Amelia Sykes in 13. Those elected members of Congress are working every day to show up for Ohioans. So, in the absence of Congressman Bob Latta's ability to be here tonight, or desire to be here tonight, we have a very special guest joining us. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. As governor of Minnesota, he's worked to provide universal free school meals for students, protect reproductive freedom, strengthen voting rights, lay the groundwork. I know, wait, I got a lot more to tell you. Lay the groundwork to get Minnesota to 100% clean electricity by 2040. Wow. Cut taxes for the middle class and expand paid leave for Minnesota workers. A command sergeant major in the National Guard, congressman, high school teacher, and coach, Governor Walz understands the meaning, the true meaning of public service. Please welcome to the stage, Minnesota Governor Tim
Well, hello again, Ohioans. It's good to see you. I'd just like to give a big thank you. I think all of us know the importance, and we're certainly living it right now, the separation of powers and the importance of each of the branches. We're here tonight kind of because the legislative branch has decided to capitulate their responsibility. It's good to know in the judicial branch you've got people like Justice Stewart who are there to do the things. And look, a thank you to everybody. First of all, thank you for doing this in a high school. The only other place I'm more comfortable is my living room, and we've been with, so And also the folks this morning are blaming me for the snow. It's not, it's opening day. I know it always snows on opening day. But look, for all of you, at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday in April, you got a lot of things you could be doing, like eating supper, like taking care of your kids, like teachers checking work and preparing lesson plans, and all of you doing the work, and you chose to come here. And you know what they told me? There's another 1,000 people next door in the auditorium. To those folks, I'm coming over there when we're done to talk to you. And I'm here mainly to say thank you. Thank you, because look, you came here for the simple reason you're deeply concerned about your country and you want to do something about it. And while it might be a pain in the butt to park and get here and wait in line and come in here and sit in a chair or whatever, it beats the hell out of doom scrolling in a fetal position about what stupid thing this guy's going to do next that hurts people for no reason. And so I'm grateful. I was saying last night, you get in this thing that they do something, and my first thought is, are they doing this out of malevolence or stupidity? And then somebody yelled, both. That's it, both. Look, we know how serious this is. And you come here because of that. You also come here because it's your constitutional right to come here and do this. And the First Amendment is clear. People try to shorten that up. The right of the people to peacefully assemble to address their government for a redress of grievances. And we got a list. We got a list of them. And people are doing this all across the country. Last weekend, all over the country, people did it. And I've been here a couple days. They're showing up in Zanesville. They're showing up in Martins. I'm name checking here because some of you've never been to Zanesville or Martins Ferry. I sat in union halls. It's why I'm wearing this UAW pin given by Dan Schwartz. People are showing up, and you had a congressman last night that his constituents asked him to do a town hall, and instead of even just saying no, which would be bad enough, he said, I'm not going to attend your pathetic event. Well, 3,000 people showed up in Youngstown to say something about it. You know what else is fascinating about all these people coming up and asking for answers and raising their voices and bringing signs and stuff? Over this entire time, and over last weekend with over 1 million people on the streets, not one police officer has been assaulted. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So I don't want any lectures from them on protesting or anything else. And I will tell you this before we get to the meat of this. For you to do the things that you need to do and ask the questions, I come at this. I earned the stripes on this. I had the privilege of serving for 12 years in the United States Congress. I'm proud of it. And by the way, I didn't come to Ohio without making sure I brought somebody who could show me around and kind of knew the ropes. And that was somebody who knew this state incredibly well. Former Governor of Ohio, Ted Strickland, is here tonight. So, And he and I both served over, by the way, when we were in Martins Ferry over there by Wheeling, West Virginia, when Ted Strickland ran for Congress there the last time, he didn't even have a Republican challenger. So don't tell me and the National Party, if we forsake places like Ohio, we'll never win a presidential election and we'll never put people in. So we were in Congress, and one of the responsibilities of Congress is to be responsive to your constituents, not those who voted for you alone, all of them, whether they need help with Social Security, they need a passport, they need something, or to address that. And you have a responsibility to stand in front of them. It's a time-honored tradition of town halls like this and constituents to ask questions, and you answer them. And I did it in the Tea Party summer of 2009 when we were voting on the Affordable Care Act to expand health care. I was in a district where I was a second Democrat since 1892, and there was probably going to be a real chance, and I knew it, if I voted for the ACA, I would be out of Congress. It seemed to me to be a pretty good deal. More people get health care, I get the hell out of there and go back to teach school. So I stood in rooms like this with thousands of people for hours on end. Many of them were there. They were the Tea Party. They had the Gadsden flags. But you know what they were doing? They were there and they were asking questions. Why are you voting for this health care? Why are you taking me out? I'm not taking your health care. I'm expanding it. I'm doing this. Why are you doing this? I won't be able to choose my doctor. Yes, you'll be able to choose your doctor. It says right here. And I sat there over and over and over and explained that to them. That's what you're supposed to do. So I'm here tonight, and I'm just going to say in full disclosure, the congressman from this district I got along with very well. I served with in Congress. He was very cordial to me, and we got things along. Donald Trump has ruined about all those relationships, so I would say this. Because the person that I knew would stand here, and the reason that I'm so miffed about this, when I saw they weren't coming and their leadership told them not to do these town halls, because all of you have your Soros checks to go spend or whatever. So,
I wish.
the thing that was so miffed about that is that this is a responsibility that you're supposed to do. And the reason that I knew, and this is what usually happens, I had no problem doing those town halls and defending the ACA because I believed in it. Yes. If they truly, now think about it, if they're truly okay with Elon Musk getting rid of Social Security, stand here and defend it. If you're really okay with people who are in this country legally working on advanced degrees in our colleges being snatched up and shipped out illegally, then come here and say that. If you're really okay and voted for getting rid of the Department of Education and putting families and children like mine who depend on IEPs to get the best education, then stand here and defend it. And I'll end with this before we go to questions. If you really believe that a member of Congress, and it's an important thing you work so hard for, and you're going to cling to that job no matter what, why would you give up all of the responsibilities of it? Because it was never designed that one person should be able to destroy our entire economy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now,
Preach it, brother, preach it.
my experience was even people who disagreed with me were very cordial and asked the question. They would sometimes say, well, you're full of shit. Well, that could be. But at least they said it, and we had a conversation, and I explained where it was at. They're not going to do that. So he's doing what he wants to do, whether it's constitutional or not. Now, the justice knows this. The other check and genius of our system is for the courts then to make a determination. And many of these things have been illegal, unconstitutional, and temporary restraining orders were put on. He's simply chosen not to follow some of those. That would be what the folks in here know as a constitutional crisis. Because they have, you remember Congress and senators have capitulated their responsibility. He is stepping over the courts, or the courts are not standing where they need to, and we're in a constitutional crisis, which leads us to the final fail-safe, and this is the best one in my opinion. That's the people, and that's the voice.
Yes, sir.
And the question that would be asked, we'll find it tonight. Somebody's like, well, what are you doing out here? Look, I had a platform that was given by Vice President Harris choosing me, which I think always, whenever I bring this up, needs to be notified. Instead of the shit show we're in, we had the opportunity to choose the most qualified presidential candidate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I'm out here to hear from all of you and what your congressman should be hearing, but I'm also out here to say, how did we not convince those folks to trust us? And when I'm sitting in these UAW halls and listening to folks, why was it that I think many in this room aren't surprised what's going on? You're frustrated, there's high anxiety, we're scared in some cases, but why did our neighbors not think that there was enough of a difference? Because I guarantee you, had they voted for Kamala Harris, she wouldn't have tanked the stock market. I guarantee you she wouldn't have taken people off the streets. She wouldn't have got rid of the Department of Education. None of those things. And she wouldn't have found the need to be on TV every damn day, like bothering us. So I don't know. I'm probably not the best person to tell what went wrong because I was there when it went wrong. But I am one to tell you is I'm not stepping out of this fight with all of you, whatever that looks like. I'm not going to. And I am not going to allow them in the job of a member of Congress to disrespect the constituents, to at least not attempt to answer the question. So Justice Stewart's got a few here. We're going to bring some folks up. I asked them if we could do this for all of you, being that where's the elementary school teachers in here? So we're going to do popcorn at the end, which I'd like you, as we're going through this, think if you've got a specific question, but more importantly, I think I heard the primal scream when all this is happening. Stop! Somebody stand up and stop this. Somebody do something about this. What do you think that do something is? If you've got some ideas, I mean, somebody said it, and Senator Cory Booker stood up and said, "Well, at least I'll give a damn speech to try and stop this."
Yeah! The hell is from?
So think about that at the end. We'll try and stay as long as we can. This is just for me, curiously. Are there any folks here who like never attended like a town hall or a political gathering? That was for me to say this because look, they're, you know, this idea that these are hardcore Democrats, they're showing up, they, you know, it's their social work to protest together or whatever that line they give. It's not that. And I don't believe, and I think it's something, I'm not going to single anybody out. I think our neighbors, our brothers, our relatives who might have voted that way, we've got to think about this. They were lied to. They were deceived. And that's not on them. That's on him. And what we need to do is figure out a way to make them believe that they can trust us and we can do better for them to bring them back. So I hope in here we're here. Let's go, Justice.
Yes, sir.